Namaste!
Namaste Techies.
Namaste Techies!
Namaste
Namaste Adu!
Ajit.
Oh man, I love
Feels like
this.
long time, right?
Feels like a long time. Yeah, we had to take a
Yeah.
short break for
Yep.
some reasons, but
We are
we need a
back.
break sometimes. But we're
Yeah.
back. Oh, I love doing this show. So much fun.
Yeah. So much fun.
So, we got a couple of topics we want to talk about today. And before we dive into like a more of a demo and all this stuff, let's quickly talk about the exciting thing coming up in at the end of November, November 20th, right?
Yep.
So we got some really awesome, exciting event. HTMD
Hey.
conference, the first HTMD conference. Like, what is HTMD? How to manage devices, how to manage Daliwal, how to manage,
Exactly.
yeah,
You got it.
how to manage disease. So yeah, so you obviously you're the brainchild and the the founder and the all the good things that go around HDMD and excitingly that you took the next step to set up a one-day conference with some really awesome speakers from around the world
Mhm.
uh, who are going to be speaking. They're going to be. I know you can speak about it. I don't want to take your thunder away.
No, no,
Go
that's
ahead.
fine. You're better than me. Okay. So basically, it's as Harjit mentioned, the HTMD is nothing but how to manage devices community, right? So we are arranging a first virtual conference. Right, so we normally used to have in-person events prior to
Yes.
COVID. Right now, in-person events are not very feasible.
Right.
So thought of giving more opportunity for international speakers, right? So that they can try to interact with our community, right? Back in India, probably the global community can also join because it's virtual. You don't need to travel to India for to attend this particular
Exactly.
conference, right? So
Right.
this is very interesting, and the speaker nominations are still open. Call for
Yes.
speaker is still open, and registration is always open until that day,
Yes.
right? So it's virtual, so there is no limit. So we will put all the link and other details in the description of the video. So go
Yes.
ahead and look at it. Right.
Yes. And so it's really exciting because, well, one, we have really cool speakers, a lot of like good names, some new people, which is awesome as well. We're gonna have topics on Azure. We're gonna have topics on, endpoint manager and device management and modern stuff, and so there's gonna be
AVD,
so
Windows 365,
Windows
everything. Right? Yeah.
365 and all of these things. I mean that all these technologies that are just like so hot right now in our industry, and and everybody wants answers. Everybody's looking for information or wanting to learn, and which we try to do and share in our videos. But yeah, definitely sign up and join us, and you and I are going to be doing some fun things
Hey.
too. All right, so that's HDMD. It's exciting. The first one.
Yep.
And okay, so next up, the next exciting thing is Windows 11, right?
Hmm.
I mean, we talked about it, a few weeks ago when it was still in Windows Insiders and all that stuff. But now it's gone RTM. It's fully available. You can download the ISOs and things like that and whatnot. Uh, I've already I'm using it full blown on my personal machines and also my work machines, and so as you as you work with it, you start figuring out new things that are there and not there, right? Um, Let me see if I can share my screen. I'll just quickly something I discovered recently,
Mhm.
which is I don't want to share my window. I want to share my whole screen. Okay,
That's
that's my whole
cool.
screen. All right. Uh, so I'm remoted into my one of my test machines. It's a physical machine. This is an older device, so you know, when I run the PC health check, it doesn't meet the requirements, right? Doesn't have TPM2, doesn't have the processor it needs, and so on and so forth, which is fine. I mean, you can click on this, it'll give you more results. I've got secure boot, I've got all the other things that it needs. So, but it's running Windows 11. Yeah, that's cool because, right here you can see I'm on the insider preview, right? So you can run the insider preview, and you can still function and get to learn how to use the product, right? So that's
Mhm.
the thing. And I've got all my applications and things like that. And same thing, everybody's freaking out. Oh my God, the taskbar has moved to the middle and stuff. Like, yeah, who cares? It is there. The more things you add, and it just keeps expanding.
Yeah.
Or um, I'll minimize this here. Yeah, or you can actually, go into your settings and also then change this from left to middle to the left and stuff like that if you want to. You can do all that stuff. um, Start menu is right here, opens up. You can pin things here, you can move things around, if you can drag it, if I want to move this up here, things like that. You'll notice that in the bottom here where you used to have your action center, that's already gone. That's now part of this whole settings icon, right? It looks modernized, looks obviously new, but it shouldn't be any different than what you're used to in for Windows. For Windows 10. Windows updates is what it looks like.
Okay. Fresh look.
Yeah, fresh look and nice.
Yeah.
So one thing I recently learned is that, let's say I want to copy I don't know if I have a file here or not. Let's call it I don't know. Let's create a new file here, right? I'll just call this test, right? So let's say I want to move this file. I want to copy it. When I right click, come on, you notice I don't have copy, cut, paste, or any of those things here. I'm like, where did it go? Right? You can do the
Yeah.
control V, the control X, and all that stuff. That still works. But
Yeah.
look up here. It's changed into these icons.
Mhm.
Copy, cut, right? Rename,
Yeah. Yeah.
share, and then delete. It's all up here. If
Yeah.
you click on this, that gives you your old style, open with, copy, and so on and so forth. So
Yeah.
if I want to copy this, I click on copy, and then let's say I want to put it in, I don't know, I'll just put it in under the Dell folder.
Mhm.
Um, and when I right click, I'm like, I don't have paste, but paste is right up here.
Yeah.
So just some new things. It's all there. It's just a new. You have to like relearn a few of the steps.
Mhm.
Um, okay, so that's. Oh,
I
and then you'll see there's a little chat icon here that comes built in. This is more consumer based. This is, I believe it's like behind the scenes, it's really Skype. That's basically what it is. It's to help people communicate, those that don't use Teams or things like that. Teams is also built in. Am I right, Anup?
Um, I think for Teams we need to install Teams. I think I'm not 100% sure about that. Yeah, I'm not sure.
I didn't spell Microsoft properly.
Yeah.
It's there. It's built in.
Okay. Okay. Oh, that's
Called
cool.
Teams. Yeah, so it's built in because I'm running a preview. It's there.
Uh-huh.
So and there some people are actually uninstalling it. Some people are not. It's mileage varies. Do
Yeah.
what you please. So anyway, so that's that for mine. So why don't you go ahead and talk about the other things you want to showcase?
Mm-hmm. Let me try to share my screen. Probably the right one. Hopefully you can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So this is Windows 11, a device which is managed using Intune. No, SCCM or configuration manager, right?
Right.
Okay. So don't get confused with SCCM and Intune, right? Like me. Okay. Okay. So let's go into administration and show what you need to do to
Mm,
patch Windows 11 devices, right?
yes.
So over here, go to your sites and go to your standalone primary. Hopefully you don't have CAS, so I'm not going to talk about CAS, right?
No.
And and
Configure
let's,
components.
yeah, configure site components and go to software update point,
Yeah.
and then you need to go to products, and within products, if you scroll down, I don't like scrolling down this much because ideally this should not expand by default, right? It should be minimized even if I'm not
Use it.
kind of
Right.
using it, right? So it doesn't make much sense because it is kind of a bad admin experience from my perspective, to be honest. So this is the thing, right, which you need to enable for Windows 11. This is the product you need to enable. By
Mhm.
default, this is not enabled, right? You need to manually go in and enable it. And
Right.
don't get confused with dynamic update, right? So I don't know whether you are using Windows 11 dynamic updates or not. If you are using it, if you want those kind of updates, then probably it's worth adding this product also, right? So I have done that. And then once you have
Before you
done,
go, before you click on that, just scroll up a
okay,
little bit. Actually, yeah, keep going up a little bit more. Okay. All right. You see the one there, right under the Microsoft Edge,
Microsoft Edge, okay,
right below that, Microsoft
yeah,
Server Operating System. I know this is not the topic for that, but just want to
uh-huh.
point out that if you are managing Server 2022, this is the checkbox you need. Okay. Anyways.
Yeah, that's good tip. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. And the interesting thing is this is also changed, right? The name,
Yes.
the product name, at least from a WSUS perspective, it is something 21H2. Okay.
Everything's 21H2 now.
Yeah. Windows 10 is 21H2
Windows
and
11 is
not yet, right? Windows 10 is not yet to 21H2, I
right,
think.
right.
Right.
20H2.
But Windows 11
2021.
is
Yeah.
21H2. Now let's go to, so what you need to do is basically once you update the product, you need to do a sync, right? To manually initiate the sync, you can schedule it kind of every probably every day, every week, or every month. You can do that kind of sync, right? So that schedule is available, but after enabling this product, new products, you need to right click on all software updates and synchronize software updates, right?
Yeah.
So once you did that or completed that, so how do you know this is sync is completed? You need to open up your sync mgr wsync mg wsyncmgr.log, right? And you can check whether the sync was successful or not. Over here you will get all the details, right? So as you can see, upgrade to Windows 11, up to date, all these things are skipping now because it's already synced, right?
Mhm.
So if you go to the bottom of this log file somewhere here, okay, somewhere here, so you would be able to see the sync is completed or something like that, right? So normally sync is completed and how much time it took to complete the sync and what is the version number. All those details are available here, right?
Mhm.
63 is the version number and it says sync succeeded, etc., etc., right? You need to wait until this shows up in your wsync mgr, right? And then once that sync is completed, probably you might need to do another sync to get all Windows 11 updates shown up over here, right? For that to display over here, updates to display over here, right? So that is something once. So you need to do sync two times, right? First
Mhm.
is for the products and then for the updates, okay? Once you have the updates, probably what you can do is you can go to add criteria and check whether you have a product called Windows 11 or not from here, right? Add products and select Windows 11 somewhere here. I don't know where it is. Okay, somewhere down, I think. To Windows 11, right?
Mhm.
So, so add product and search
The
for the
patches.
updates.
Mhm.
So search for the patches, right? So you can see these are the patches available at the moment for Windows 11, right? And you would be able to see the other options now, right? You can create an ADR for this. For example, if you want to
Mhm.
automate the patching, right? You can go to automatic deployment rules, right? And you can create one over here. From here, create automatic deployment rule for Windows 11 if you want, right? if you
And you
if you
already
are
have it.
Mhm. Yeah, I already have it, but I don't know. Like different organizations are managing patches in a different way, best suited for them, right? Their organization. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Some of the people are managing patches or creating patch packages based on OS version or OS, basically Windows 10 and Windows 11 probably servers, a different patch package for the servers, etc., etc., right? Depending on that, you might need to create ADR rule, right? So for this demo, I'm just going to create one, and probably I will use the template, right, to make this easy, right? So
Yep.
I have a patch Tuesdays template. I'm not going to deploy any other patches. For example, in this lab, only patch Tuesday updates will go out to my devices, right? So select the collection, device collection. I'm going to select Windows 11 devices over here, right? And I'm going to say create a new
Yes.
group, update group, because that is the default one, because I like the default settings, because Microsoft is not creating default settings just like that. You have a lot of flexibility, right?
Hmm.
If you want to change the default settings, you have that also, you have that option also, right? So if you have a requirement, you don't want like different SUGs, software update groups, every for every month, then you can combine it, right? So that's also possible. Now, this is all
The
same
defaults.
defaults one. I'm not going to. This is the main thing, right? This is the brain of ADR, I would say. Okay,
Right.
so let me take. Okay, this is ADR, and in this, I select 1 month or something, right?
I
So
usually choose 2 months, the last
two
two
months.
months.
Okay, okay. Why?
Bec-
What is the reason for that? Any
The
specific?
reason is the from the time last month's patch Tuesday to this time, there's always like a gap in between.
Uh-huh.
It's not always a through 30 days. It
Uh-huh.
could be more. So if there
Uh-huh.
are patches from, you know, a little bit before that, you're gonna miss out. So if you do
Ah,
two
that's good.
months, you should capture most of them. Um,
Oh,
and
that's
then I
cool.
always I always use the required field because I don't need to sync
Yeah.
things that I don't, my systems don't need.
Mhm.
Um, equals to one. Yeah,
Ah.
just put one there. Oh, greater than equals to one. Sorry. No, no. Great. No, cancel that. Delete that one.
Uh-huh.
Okay, greater than equals to one. Yeah,
Okay, cool.
and
And
then superseded. Yeah.
superseded. No. And I normally do this also. I don't know whether that's useful for you or not, but it's a deployed one, right? So,
Yeah.
um, and the main one
So
is. Mm-hmm.
yeah, product. Oh, okay. So you do it by okay. Yeah. So there's so many ways of doing this, right? It
Uh-huh.
all depends, like you said earlier, based on your organization, how you want to manage it. You can make it as complicated you want, or you can make it pretty simple.
Uh-huh.
Um, um,
How do you do normally this one? Do
so
you
for
select
me,
product
I
or?
don't do by product. I do
Uh-huh.
it by update classifications. And then I
Uh-huh.
just add like critical, security, update rollups, and things like that, um, all in that one ADR because, um, uh,
Uh-huh. Yeah,
so
then
that
then it would be for all the devices, right? Uh,
you could do it. Yeah, then it'll be for all
yeah.
devices. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you could target just, the product like Windows 11, like you said.
Yeah.
Yeah, so many ways of doing it.
Yeah, exactly. And it shows up all the products which we have already
Exactly.
seen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me come down somewhere here and select this one and check what is happening. This button is useful, preview, and you would be able to check
Give you a
whether,
preview. Yeah.
yeah, whether there is any patch. Oh, no, no patch.
Because your
Yeah.
update classification doesn't have, critical, and so
Uh-huh. Okay. Critical. Yeah. Okay.
so
And
you're
let
only
me
adding
add
security, but if you add critical, um,
critical updates. Okay.
yeah,
And then
you might.
preview. Okay.
So it looks like your
Probably.
systems don't need it because when you did earlier, I
Uh-huh.
noticed, the required was zero, um, because your one machine that you have is already patched, so it's not going to
Yeah.
show you the preview for it, right? It doesn't need it. Um,
Okay. So let me try to
remove that.
remove the
Yeah.
required one. Okay. and then preview it. Ah, cool. That's cool.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
so that's good.
So you can just leave it
So
like that and then go next. Um,
yeah, otherwise, for the sake of it, probably we'll keep required, right?
mhm.
And do it in a proper way, right?
You already have it there, yeah.
Yeah. So let's click next and then go through all these basic steps. I don't think there is anything magical over here, right? It's
So
all let's.
what this is doing here is basically gonna run the ADR on a schedule you set. So if you go to
Yeah,
customize, um,
yeah.
and what you want to do is the best practice is to make sure that your ADRs run after your software update sync. So maybe like an hour after to wants to make sure that it's got all the catalogs and stuff like that. Like it's, it knows what it needs to do. You have scans from your devices that are, updating the policies and saying, hey, based on what you synced from Microsoft, these are the patches I need, kind of a thing. So then when
Mm-hmm,
your ADR runs, it'll determine from that and create the package and the deployments and the software update groups based on that.
mm-hmm,
Um, I always recommend, in my opinion, so for example, you chose custom interval. This is only your lab, right? But
mm-hmm,
in a production, normally you would choose monthly. Um,
mm-hmm,
And when you choose monthly, it'll give you the option to select the second Tuesday or things like that, right? If you choose the last option there,
mm-hmm.
right? So
Yeah.
the second Tuesday of each month. So that's Patch Tuesday week, right? If you want to do it that way, you can tell it, hey, I wanted my ADRs to run at 4 4:19 p.m.
Mm-hmm,
On second Tuesday of each month. Just make sure that your SUP is syncing at least
mm-hmm,
an hour or so prior to that,
mm-hmm.
right? Um,
Yeah,
so,
that's good. So let's keep it that way, right?
yeah,
So uh,
yeah.
okay, cool. Click on next, and here's another thing: the schedule evaluation,
Yeah.
software available time, all these things, right? This is all about the deployment schedules, right? So.
So here
Mm-hmm,
also, I always recommend, based on
mm-hmm,
my experiences and stuff, to always try to, if you want granular control, then use hours. And what this is saying is that, so let's say at 4:20 or 4 o'clock, you ran your ADRs. It may take 5 minutes, it may take 10 minutes, or whatever it is. As soon as it finishes, let's say it finishes at 4:15,
mm-hmm,
your availability starts from that time, right? 4:15. And then your deadline also starts from that time when your ADRs finished.
mm-hmm,
So what happens is, let's say you said 4 hours here, that's when you want to make them available. So
mm-hmm,
that means around 8 o'clock or 8:15 is when the patches will be available.
mm-hmm,
And then when you say you want to make them mandatory, if you're doing 7 days, you're not really going to know on the seventh day around what time they're going to be mandatory. But if you're doing hours, you can really pinpoint and say, you know what,
mm-hmm,
uh, 24 hours or 36 hours or
mm-hmm,
112 hours from
mm-hmm.
this day and this
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
So
it's
that's
good.
how you do your granular control. You have to do a little
Mm.
bit of math.
Yeah,
There's a little bit of math
that's
involved with this.
that's great tip. Yeah,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
All right.
go on. Yep. And user experience. You have anything to add over here from a
The only thing you do here is
Mhm.
like on the top where it says display in software center, and I usually
notif-
choose the second option, display in software center and show computer restarts. At least your users are informed. They know, hey, I've got patches or I need reboots or whatever. Um, I don't do this for definition files. Definition files, you show no notification because they're tiny. They
Yeah.
install right away, right? That's what I do. I don't tend to select anything else here other than uh,
Yeah, I think this
yeah,
is by default. This is for embedded devices. Or
right.
yeah, I think we can check the next page.
Nothing here.
And
Same
yeah, this
defaults.
is all defaults.
Mhm.
And this is the tricky part, right? you
So,
you want to
yes,
have some decision making over here in this.
right.
Yeah.
If you're the new way, from what I deal with is that folks have started to move towards no deployment packages
Mhm.
to reduce
Yeah.
infrastructure overload. If you choose the last option, all your devices will go out to Microsoft if they're all connected to the internet and get the updates that they need, right? So this way you avoid, maintaining packages and things like that in your DPs and whatnot. So, you know,
Yeah, that's better modern option, right?
modern option.
The only thing probably I have seen is if you are not using split tunneling through the VPN in a work from home situation, probably this is going to cause some issues, right? Because it's the some most of the organization, right, I have seen is like they have only one tunnel, right, that is going back to
The corporate.
um yeah, corporate. And probably the only exception for that is probably Office 365 or Microsoft 365 applications like mail, Teams, and all, right, all the other communications are tunneled through that VPN. So now people started to realize, okay, we need to do a split tunneling for the updates also. That would be very helpful for us, etc. So in that
Well, this
scenario,
is
you can.
since everybody, a lot of people now, the new work mode is remote. Everybody's
Yeah,
working remotely from their home and stuff like that. You know, I feel like this is a great way to reduce bandwidth back to the
exactly,
office.
exactly.
Reduce the workload there. Machines are connected to the internet anyways, right? They need to browse the web to do research and stuff like that. So that's already, if they're connected to the internet, then there's no reason that they can't get the updates. They get instructions from config manager because they're using CMG or something like that for policies and hey, you need these patches. Oh, I need these patches. Okay, I'll go out to Microsoft and get it. Right.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, that's
anyways.
good. And this is also another interesting option: download settings, install.
Yeah.
This is, I normally go with the default one, right? So do you have any other preferences over
No,
here?
I do the same
Uh,
thing. I think the default
uh-huh,
one for the top one is always do not install software updates, but I always choose the second option, the download software like you had.
uh-huh.
I do
Okay.
that for that one, the second one. And
Uh-huh.
if you notice the one where it's grayed out, um,
Uh-huh.
right there,
Yeah.
normally that gives you an option to check. But because we selected the option for no packages, go
Package.
out to Microsoft, by default, it checks that for you and it's grayed out. That's why.
Okay. That's cool. Yeah. Good to know. That's great.
Yes.
Okay. Next.
That's
And
it.
here is another option, right? So if you want to save all these settings as your default template, right, then you can do this by clicking on Save As Template, right? So you can say maybe um, Namaste Techies template, right? uh, Something like that, and save it so it can be useful next time, right, when you create
Exactly.
the the ADR or something else, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it.
That's it.
We are done with ADR. Yay! Lot of great tips from Harjit. Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Hey,
Hey,
thumbs up
that
is
was
also a drink in India.
yeah.
They don't exist anymore, I think. I'm not sure.
Sure. I don't drink those things, I would say.
Yeah, me neither, but anyways,
Uh,
that's a discussion for another time.
yeah. So
Yeah.
that was a quick demo from my side,
Mhm.
probably. Do you want to have any other discussions or what do you think?
No, I think that was perfect. I mean, people are now starting to use Windows 11. They're trying to figure out how to get it, how to how to patch it, and I think we covered that. How to get it if your machines are compliant, meet all the requirements. When you do Windows Update, you should get it from there. It should come through. There are also, like I know on my personal machine, it met all the requirements and stuff. It just wouldn't show up in Windows updates. So I had to go to the Windows Update site. There's a there's a tool or a download that initiates it, um, the Update Assistant or something like that. And then after that, I it just gave me Windows 11, and uh, just like upgrading from one version of Windows 10 to another, no different. Um, it creates a Windows.old folder like before. And also, like people talk about licenses and stuff. Well, if you have Windows 10, it's covered for Windows 11. It's the same keys, really. Nothing else different there. So it's
Yeah,
all good.
that's
So
good.
we'll dive more into deep stuff like that. And
Yeah,
maybe some sessions at HTMD conference.
yeah, good
Yeah,
idea.
good idea. All right. So I think that's pretty much it. So
Mhm.
until next time,
Don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and if you want to dislike, you're free to do that, right?
and thanks for all your feedback, everybody.
Yeah.
We love seeing the great comments and the love and the support. And we do this for you, really. We have a lot of fun, but we're doing it for you. So yeah, until next time, you know where to find us. We're on Twitter, we're on LinkedIn, we're on WhatsApp, we're everywhere. So
Everywhere.
reach out and namaste.
Namaste.